excited about today's video. I did a similar video to this last year called my anticipated reads of 2015, and as a whole, kind of my goals and the books that I anticipated for 2015, it was kind of a fail. I ended up not reading a lot of those books. So I actually got this particular video idea from Reagan over at Peruse Project, and this is the top 10 books I want to read in 2016. And I think last year where I failed is a lot of the books on the list that I made for my anticipated 2015 reads, I had to purchase those books. I didn't already have them, and so I almost felt all this pressure to buy them, and then once I did, I was no longer in the mood to read them and I lost interest. So for this year, what I did is I simply just looked on my shelves and I shopped my shelf, and I just picked the top 10 books that I'm just like, I need to read these books this year, come what may, and all that. So without any further ado, let's just dive right in. My first pick is The Heart of Betrayal, which is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. And this one is actually on my TBR for January, and it's slash part of my TBR for the hashtag TBR Takedown 3.0 readathon that I'm participating in this week. So yeah, I hopefully can knock this one out either this week or this month. So starting off strong. Next up, I have Winter, which is the finale, the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series. And once again, this is on my TBR for the readathon this week as well as for January. So I really am trying to do my best to just get a lot of these read as early as possible in the year. I'm really excited for this conclusion. I adored Cress, and I just can't wait to see what happens with all of my favorite characters. I can't wait to meet the new characters on Lunar. I'm very intrigued, and I highly recommend this series. If you don't know what this is and you're just, I don't know where you've been, this is a sci-fi series, young adult science fiction fairy tale retelling series. It's amazing. Sorry to backtrack, but I forgot to tell you this is the sequel to Kiss of Deception, which made a huge splash last year, and I highly suggest that you check both of them out, even though I haven't read this one yet. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I've heard nothing but good things. But yeah, definitely check out this series. I highly recommend. The third book is by an author that I really found myself loving last year and even the year before last year, but this is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I was supposed to read this over the summer. It never quite transpired, so I really want to try to get to it as soon as possible this year. I don't want to wait till this summer, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I really want to get to this year. Next up is another conclusion to a series. That is Their Fractured Light, which is the third and final book in the Starbound series, and this is by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. It started with These Broken Stars, I believe. It's kind of a Titanic opera, space opera. There, that's how you describe it, or it's been described rather. Titanic-esque space opera. At least the first book was. I have the second book, I haven't read it yet, and this is the third and final book, and I want to finish the series this year. That is my goal. Next up is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. And I absolutely adored the only Jandy Nelson book I read last year, The Sky is Everywhere. Oh my gosh, it was one of my favorite reads of the year, and side note, need to make that video. But yes, I'll Give You the Sun has been critically acclaimed, and I definitely want to get to this one. Room by Emma Donoghue. Honestly, do I need to say anything else? I've heard amazing things about the film, and I need to read this book. I need to read this book. I need to read it. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Yes, yes. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I mean, Shannon from Leaning Lights has really made me super excited to read this. I was super excited to read it last year. I don't know what happened. I got it like the week it came out or something like that. So I don't know what's going on. I need to read this book. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. I mean, it's a classic. I've tried to read it numerous times throughout my lifetime, and I am determined that 2016 will be the year that I am successful. And last but certainly not least, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I tried so hard to read this last year, so hard on separate occasions, and I don't know what it was. I feel like I was intimidated by everyone's good opinions on this book, and I don't know, but it needs to happen. I need to know why everyone loves this author so much in this world, and why people laud this fantasy series as one of their favorites. And I don't know. I need to get serious about this one. And that is it. Those are my top 10 books that I need to read in 2016. Camera died, story of my life. Anyway, those are my top 10 reads of 2016, and I would like for you to share some of the books that you are determined to read this year as well down below in the comments. And if you've read any of the books I mentioned, what are your thoughts? And yeah, that's it for this video, and Teddy and I will catch you in our next video. Okay? Bye.